Interwebkaiju here. This is my kaiju. It's a magazine. It's mostly just artistic pictures of Godzilla figures, but there's also location stuff. So if you're interested in that, this is a thing to look for. And this is the Millennium Bug. The Millennium Bug sees a giant bug coming out of the ground and causing havoc. The titular bug is the reason you will want to watch this. And he's cool. Nothing spectacular, but far beyond anything else in the movie in terms of being interesting or entertaining. I give a lot of props to whoever designed the creature, and even more to whoever created a physical version to grace this film. The only real thing I dislike about the monster is that its feelers or tentacles, whatever they may be, make this weird noise whenever they move. In my opinion, it doesn't fit, and the noise itself is kind of annoying. There's a few miniature buildings, and they look fine. Props inside the family's house are actually really well done. I didn't notice anything bad about the score or sound effects, so I guess they were okay. Same with the camera work. There's no particularly good pans, zooms, or angles, but there's also nothing terrible. There's one good thing about the ending. The movie introduced something that seemed like it was going to be a huge plot hole, but then it came back in the final scene to bring everything sort of together. There's a lot of gore effects, and most of them are quite campy, but honestly I like them. And they may be the most memorable things about the movie, even with the well done monster. Sometimes I laughed, sometimes I cringed, but it's one of the few things I'm taking away from this film. The movie is really dark, aesthetically, not like gothic or satanic or anything in that sense, but just the brightness. This whole movie takes place at night, and it's very hard to see anything. There's a lot of jump scares that aren't effective. The characters are awful. The acting definitely doesn't help. This may be the worst acting I've seen since I watched Death Factory a decade ago. Most of the characters in the film belong to a backwoods family, which come off as a much worse version of the Texas Chainsaw family. Just because it's been done before doesn't mean it's bad, but when it's bad, it just is. At the very least, there's some laughs to be had. The movie is boring, and the characters don't help. I found myself constantly wondering when the bug would show up, and by the time it did, my interest in the film had almost all but left. Things are happening throughout, but they're not interesting and often have no rhyme or reason. What's really lacking is any concern for any of the characters, and with the events being contained in one specific woodland area, the bigger threat to society as a whole isn't there either. A lot of the effects are bad. Actors look as if they're green screened into scenes often. The fire is meh. The monster blood is actually great, but disappears in the very next scene. This probably isn't going to bug, no pun intended, anyone else, but the Y2K aspect of the film is basically none. The events take place starting on New Year's Eve 1999, and the protagonist family do a little celebration in the woods, but there's no real correlation between the fear that computers will shut down globally at the turn of the century and, well, any of the events of the Millennium Bug. I'm always intrigued when I hear about a non-Japanese giant monster film, not because I'm bored of them, I doubt I ever will be, but because comparatively there's just not as many, especially ones made in English. So that was the Millennium Bug. Nothing too great, but if the footage strikes your interest, it won't hurt to give it a shot. If you have any movies you would like me to review, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.
What in the name of Jesus Almighty? Can't say I'd ever seen nothing like them before. God damn it!
No cursing in this house, boy.